Dun, da, da, da. Disc golf. So Leah here giving our disc golf video blog update for the league. It's yesterday I thought was a really nice day. It was probably 73 with winds that gusts between about 3 miles an hour and maybe up to 15 miles an hour. It was windy, but it was not a deterrent wind. I thought it was a wonderful day, nice and sunny. It was a beautiful day to be on the course. The rest of my card thought it was cold, which still indicates that my temperature tolerance for heat is definitely at a much lower level than anybody else's. We're still playing the blacks. Our first night playing the blacks, it was the first real night I've had on the course that was so hot and sticky. I'm just dumping bottles of water on myself to help sweat faster because I'm soaking wet. It kind of sounds like that might be uncomfortable, but I am uncomfortable. It is way, way, way too hot for me. So last night I didn't have to do that at all. Everybody else on my card was shivering and wished they had brought hoodies or sweatshirts or something, and I'm out in my t-shirt thinking that finally a nice night for me. I shot 9 lower than the previous really hot night. I always contribute changes in my score. It's usually changes to the temperature, not necessarily the weather itself. The really hot night had no wind whatsoever, and people say that they often score way better when there's no wind, and the cool night did have wonderful gusting breezes, but that I score better when it's cooler. Anywhere between 40 and about 70 is a good temperature range for me to be out playing disc golf. I will play when it's colder, and I will play when it's hotter, but there's probably going to be an upper limit to when I should play when it's hot, because I will just get heat stroke and probably pass out on the course. It will get too hot for me. And I don't think there's anything I can do about that. I try really hard to acclimate to the heat. Like, I get out there and I walk and I try to exercise and mow the lawn, and anything I can do to stimulate my ability to deal with the heat, it just doesn't work. It's too hot. I just don't have that body type to deal with heat. Nothing particularly interesting happened in my game that I can recall. I threw my lightweight discs, but so when people say that they go heavier in the wind or something, and I wonder how do you go heavier? You already throw max weight. You can't go heavier because of the wind. So if you already throw max weight and you can't change the weight, then I should continue to be able to throw my pretty light weights without changing the weight either. As long as you keep them flat, they'll stay out of the wind. Not that I'm highly skilled at disc golf, but I do trust my lightweights in the wind, and I've been trusting them more. Finally made it over my road nemesis last night. Hole 16 it would be considered an island hole. You have to throw from the tee pad to a certain point. You have to throw it past, there's a walking path / maintenance road for the park, and you have to throw over that. I don't know how far it is because I don't own a range finder yet. At some point maybe I will, and then I'll find out if I can range find a road or not. But I'm guessing it's more than 120 feet, which sounds like a very short distance compared to most people saying, oh, I normally throw 300 or 400 on my drives. Well, that's what pros normally throw too. So either everybody's a pro and I'm the only one who sucks, or a lot of people kind of falsely report their distance. I'm not going to falsely report mine. I think my average drive is 90 feet, which makes that road a challenge. I start warming up to throw over the road usually around hole 12 or hole 13. I get out my max distance driver, which for me is a gateway assassin. And it's very low profile. It's a very flat disc. It has a super tiny rim on it. For in the range of discs, it's actually considered a fairway driver instead of a distance driver. But it's a driver that I discovered I can make go really long and really straight if I really, really, really focus. Last night I was in pretty good shape by the time we got to hole 16. I really focused and I managed to put it over the road without actually skipping off the road or just barely crawling over or rolling into the dirt. So just pretty proud of that shot. But we'll keep going this year. I hope it stays at least cool on Tuesdays. The rest of you can have the heat all the other days. I'll go find some air conditioning to lay in, but I hope it stays cold on Tuesdays, and I do thank whoever keeps bringing the water to the course. That's been really helpful too.